Finally, a UK urban film we can be proud of. About friggin' time. What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Filmy Thoughts. Before I continue, please click that subscribe button. Greatly appreciated. You're probably wondering why I'm dressed like this in my own home. Little story to tell. So I've recently moved out into the sticks. No longer a Londoner. Property prices are too high. So came out here, went to the cinema to watch Blue Story. And I forgot I'm not in London no more. So I'm the only ethnic person in that screening. And on top of that, 5 minutes into the film, this is how they're dressed. And this is exactly how I went. And I was thinking, flip, and now I'm living up to the stereotype already. It wasn't great. But anyway, I thought I'd keep the theme moving. Swiftly moving on, I want to say well done to Rapman. Can I get a round of applause? Thoroughly enjoyed this film. I thought it was really good. It's not like all the other UK urban hood films that have been coming out, which is like a breath of flipping fresh air. You know, Yardy, I didn't rate. Sorry, Idris, I didn't rate that film at all. Kidulthoods, your adulthoods, The Intense, all them films did not rate. Do you know why? Because they are glamorizing drug dealing, violence, women exploitation, stabbing, shootings, all of that stuff that, you know, we need to kind of move away from in the narrative when we're talking about films. So this film, yeah, it does talk about that, but there is a meaning behind it. This film basically opens the door for others to understand how this happens and what they're going through, and the circumstances to which are the reasons for wars to take place and why they're fighting over postcodes, which again, you know, I would say is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but people have their reasons. I just want to quickly say, I am a tracksuit man. I am a tracksuit man. That's why I walk street like this. I am no way affiliated to any gangs or anything. But I love tracksuit. I only wear jeans to go to work, or if my missus basically puts her foot down and says that I have to put on something other than tracksuit. Which is most of the time, to be fair. But anyway, we move on. This is a brief synopsis about this film. You've got two areas right on each other's doorsteps, Lewisham and Peckham. And there are two young individuals who, one from each area. So one's from Peckham, one's from Lewisham, but they go to the same school. They have a type one. They're like brothers. Yeah? They are no way affiliated or interested in anything gang related. They're young, they're in school, they're enjoying life, they're getting to know each other, they're with the girls and all of that stuff, right? Then a set of circumstances happen, and they then basically they become rivals. Simply because, well, the one from Peckham, who is known as Bricker, hang tight Bricker, he has an older brother who is like running Peckham, licking shots left, right, and centre. And his brother basically coerces him and encourages him to pick up the family mantle and run with the whole gang life, which is ridiculous. That's one thing I think is ridiculous. Like, why would anyone in your family want to push you towards that kind of life? But these things happen. It's just ridiculous. It's like crabs in a barrel. If you don't know what that means, you need to go and do some research and learn something new today. Okay? Whereas Timmy's a really good guy. He's from an African background and really strict. And the mum wants the best for him. And he's a really good guy, straight A students. He's happy to help anyone. And then basically Bricker, who's from Peckham, goes to Lewisham to link a girl. He gets beaten up, rushed, and he somehow, him and his brother, blame Timmy, who is from Lewisham. And Timmy's like, nah, I'm gonna ride for you. Like, we're gonna find these youths that done it to you, and I'm gonna ride in for you. Whereas Bricker's not really hearing that. And then Timmy's girl gets involved. Bricker slaps her, and then there's a fight. So that's how they become enemies. And then the brother's like, yo, you can't let that happen. You need to ride out. You need to ride out. So he does. He rides out and he accidentally kills Timmy's girl. As a result, Timmy's girl, not Timmy's girl, sorry. As a result, Timmy is now on crud. He goes from a good youth to an absolute madman because his girl passed away at the hands of his best friend. And that's how the rival starts. I'm not going to talk too much because I realize this film comes out in the coming days. So I'm not going to talk too much. I will say though, I feel like I've spoken enough. But yeah, that's what the film's about. I will say though, there's a couple things in this film which I liked. I really, really liked. I liked the fact that they brought up mental health for kids who are living that kind of life. It's like PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, where they've seen a lot of things, from stabbings to shootings, you know, on the streets, and they're not being looked after by the medical system at all. And that's picked up on in this film, where they're given tablets and told to go away. Tablets are probably the antidepressants, but as Timmy says, you know, it just makes me tired. I don't take them. That doesn't help me. So more needs to be done with that for sure, because these kids are living in a concrete jungle and there's like a war zone out there. You know the statistics. I hear it on LBC regular. I'm an LBC listener. And then there was another thing that I liked, which was funny to me. Oh yeah, so basically something happens. I'm not going to say what happens, but the mother turns around and says there's something to do with mistaken identity. It can't be my son. It can't be my son. And I was thinking, flipping hell, like, your son doesn't work. He's a big hardback man, probably late 20s, early 30s. He doesn't work, so he's always on ends or at home. He and you don't think he's on the roads. You don't think that he's causing trouble or out getting in trouble. Where's his money coming from? And the mother just doesn't really make two and two add up, which is a problem. I just found it so interesting because you do hear about kids passing away, unfortunately, and their parents are like, oh, they were good as gold, they were good as gold, they weren't bad, they weren't gang affiliated, only to find out down the line that your child was out here running things, was causing mayhem on these streets. So I don't know how you could be so oblivious to that. Even if you are working two jobs, I'm sure you'd have an inkling of what's going on. But it's sad state of affairs. But that's it in a nutshell. Honestly, it's a good film. It's a really good film. It was shot correctly. The story made sense. The story was intriguing. It had a traditional Rapman twist at the end, not as deep as his music videos, but nonetheless still a twist that I liked. And yeah, it was engaging. It was really engaging. It was the only issue I have with this film. I think that they should have cut out the sex scenes. And I say that because if you cut out the sex scenes, maybe it would be a 12A rather than a 15. And if it's a 12A, the young kids could watch it and understand what they have coming as they grow up in terms of the gang violence and the problems you may encounter on the streets. So that's my only issue with the film, because obviously if you're watching it at 15 plus, you're already kind of living that lifestyle or being coerced into joining that lifestyle. So you try and catch them early. That's my only gripe. Apart from that, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. The reason why I'm not giving it 5 out of 5, no explosions, and it wasn't that funny. There was no comedy in this film. But as a drama, as a UK film, as one that is depicting life for young black kids in London, I absolutely loved it. Thought it was a good film. So well done again to Mr. Rapman. Levels. Anyway, that's it from me. You have a wonderful day, wonderful morning, wonderful evening, wonderful night, wonderful afternoon, no matter what time you're watching this. You take care.